Hello, this is Dan Rhodes, and welcome back to Once Upon a Kingdom. We're now in episode 3. The drama of the kingdom is manifested throughout human history. Remember, the wicked Prince Hillel was a shapeshifter. He was able to transform his appearance in order to deceive the king's warriors. And when he had defeated Adama and Eva, he had full reign and power over all humans on the land of Terra. And so the battle continues, and his strategy is always the same: infiltrate and control. Now, there are 5 chronicles in this episode. The first one is entitled, Second Chances Don't Work Without the King. The evil spell of the shapeshifter had corrupted the land of Terra. The king had to destroy all the evil people, and he started over again with a righteous man named Noah and his family. But oh, you won't believe what Noah and his descendants did with the second chance that the king gave them. And the battle continues. The next chronicle is the king's power was challenged. In this story, Nefarious gave his strength to a wicked ruler in the land of Terra. He enslaved the king's people and defied anyone to take them from him. In an unprecedented display of superior strength, the king freed his people and delivered them from Nefarious's grip, using a man named Moshe. And the battle for good and evil continued. The next chronicle is losing the kingdom. The great king granted immense authority to a man named Shalomah. He was the great wise ruler that you know as Solomon. But as wise as Shalomah was, when he became old, he fell into Nefarious's seductive snare, and his wives stole his heart away from the great king. You'll be horrified to discover what happened to Shalomah at the end of his life. And the battle for good and evil continued. The fourth chronicle is banished from the kingdom, but not forever. If people persist in rejecting the king's love and refusing to live under his righteous authority, he will eventually turn them over to the rule of their enemies. Because the king's people preferred evil over good, the king cast them away from his kingdom for 70 years in captivity in the land of Babylon. But our king is gracious and merciful. He made a promise to bring them back from exile and restore all that had been lost. And the battle continues. The last chronicle is a remnant was birthed. When the king corrects his people, it's always for good. He disciplines and purges evil and teaches people to live righteously and restores them back to himself. At the end of the 70 years of exile, when they had learned their lesson, he brought his people back to the kingdom again. They're called the king's remnant. And so out of this remnant, the king builds a people that will stay true to his word and will not leave him regardless of who falls away. Now, if this teaching has touched your heart to love the king and to serve him, then you are part of God's kingdom and a part of his remnant church. Thank you for joining with me. May the Lord richly bless you and grant to you his victory in your battle between good and evil in your life.